NFL fans, welcome back to the J All Day Show. We are live from sunny Los Angeles, and today I'm bringing to you my final Week 1 NFL predictions. I got the fresh cut, I got the suit on, but guess what? We don't wear suits here. Let's get ready for some football. Let's go! We're kicking off Week 1 with the Baltimore Ravens traveling to Kansas City to take on the Super Bowl champion Chiefs. So who wins this game? There's a lot of turnover on the Baltimore Ravens side of the ball. They brought in King Henry to supplement that run game with Lamar Jackson. Zay Flowers is the #1 wide receiver there, but is it going to be enough to slow down Patrick Mahomes, newly acquired Xavier Worthy from the draft? The Chiefs are dealing with a few injuries on the offensive line, so we have to be aware of that in making this pick. But I think the Chiefs' offensive firepower is just going to be too much, and they're going to win a game similar to that playoff game where it was 17-10. I'm going 20-13 for the Kansas City Chiefs. Next up, we got my Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Brazil to take on the Packers. Man, the Packers have a really good team. Jordan Love is an excellent quarterback, one of the best young talents in the NFL. His wide receivers are just as good with Dobbs, Wicks, Watson. The names keep going. They drafted really well too with Javon Bullard, the safety, Edgerrin Cooper, the linebacker, and one of the best moves they made all offseason, bringing Xavier McKinney, the safety, over from the New York Giants. But the Philadelphia Eagles revamped the whole team pretty much, right? Saquon Barkley is there now. We got a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. Kellen Moore's going to run a lot of pre-snap motion, get Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown all over the field to find those mismatches. I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game 24-23 in a very close game. The next game I want to talk about is the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Atlanta Falcons. Kirk Cousins, big money guy there to play some quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. The Pittsburgh Steelers are dealing with a ton of injuries on that offensive line. And Deontay Johnson, he's gone to Carolina. All they have is Pickens left. And Russell Wilson, I'm sorry Steelers fans, he is just not any good. He's not my guy. I think that the Steelers lose this game on the road, especially to the Atlanta Falcons, who have one of the best offensive lines in the entire NFL. And they got Bijan Robinson. They got Kyle Pitts, Drake London on the outside. I think the Falcons get it done here, guys. All right, the next game we're going to talk about is the Cincinnati Bengals at home versus the New England Patriots. Jacoby Brissett is the quarterback for the Patriots for now, at least. They got Ramondre Stevenson running the ball. The defense is pretty good, even though Judon got traded over to the Atlanta Falcons and make them even better, right? So they don't really have anyone to throw the ball to. Not a great running back room. Jacoby Brissett is not very good. But Jamar Chase still hasn't signed a new deal yet. He's still holding out. So if he doesn't play, it'll be a little bit closer. But look for the Cincinnati Bengals to win this game. Then we got the Arizona Cardinals traveling to Buffalo to take on the Buffalo Bills. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch this game. The Buffalo Bills are still really good, guys. Do not fret that they let Stephon Diggs walk. I think it's an addition by subtraction for the Buffalo Bills. I look for Khalil Shakir to really step up and fill that void. Arizona Cardinals, man, Kyler Murray's finally healthy, right? Then we got some rookie power and Marvin Harrison Jr. to be paired with tight end Trey McBride. James Conner is a great running back too, but that defense sucks. The Buffalo Bills are going to win this game. Next up is one of my favorite games of the week. We got the Tennessee Titans on the road against #1 draft pick Caleb Williams and that slew of weapons. DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift, Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen. Oh my gosh, they are absolutely loaded. But the Titans aren't so bad either. I like Will Levis, new head coach, new offensive line coach. The Callahans are coming in to straighten out that team. But the wide receiver room has improved greatly as well. We got DeAndre Hopkins. We got none other than Tyler Boyd coming over from the Bengals. We got Calvin Ridley signing there. We got Tony Pollard coming over from the Cowboys to help complement Spears. Then on the defensive side of the ball, we have Snead coming over from Kansas City and Awuzie, the cornerback, coming over from the Bengals. The Titans are not going to be a slouch, but I think the Bears just get it done, guys. just get it done. 2017 for the Bears. Another game I'm really excited about is the Jaguars versus the Miami Dolphins, right? That high-powered lefty to a slinging that ball to Waddle and Tyreek Hill. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch, but they lost some guys on the offensive line. Hunt goes to Carolina. Defensive line, Wilkins goes to the Raiders, right? What's going to happen in the trenches with the Dolphins? Luckily for them, the offensive line on the Jaguars is not very good. The wide receiver room, not as good as last year, in my opinion. Calvin Ridley walked. Trevor Lawrence is overpaid, in my opinion, and for that reason, I'm going with Tua and Tyreek Hill to get the W this week. All right, the next game I want to talk about, Minnesota Vikings on the road versus the New York Giants. Daniel Jones is an abomination. Whoever thought to pay this dude $40 million a year? Absolutely insane. I do love Malik Neighbors. I love the addition to Brian Burns on the defensive line to be paired with Dexter Lawrence. But that's not going to be enough to stop Justin Jefferson, the best wide receiver in the NFL, Jordan Addison, Aaron Jones coming over from the Packers. Sam Darnold's the guy because McCarthy got hurt, but I think it's enough. They get the W here. Next up on the slate, everyone, we have the Washington Commanders, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Commanders, Jaden Daniels, one of my favorite players in college this past year. He's going to be paired up with Cliff Kingsbury, the new offensive coordinator there. Dan Quinn coming over from Dallas to be the head coach of this Washington Commanders football team. They're taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who kicked the crap out of my Philadelphia Eagles in the playoffs last year. Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, they're all back. 10 out of 11 starters on offense all coming back. A few guys like Devin White are gone from Tampa Bay. He's with Philly now, but this team's going to do just fine. But I did get a little inclination. This could be kind of a trap game because Jaden Daniels is the truth, man. He's going to be tough to figure out at the NFL level. Him, Terry McLaurin, they could be a problem, but their defense is not very good in my opinion. Dan Quinn's going to get that unit right, but it's going to take some time. I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this game. I'm thinking by like 10 points. I think Godwin and Mike Evans both ball out and have a great game. We'll go with the Buccaneers. Next up is probably my favorite game of the week. Houston Texans, CJ Stroud and company, the Ballers from Houston taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Very well coached team. I like what they did in the draft. Adonai Mitchell, Laiatu Latu. Michael Pittman is a star wide receiver on the outside, and I love Anthony Richardson. Shane Steichen is a quarterback whisperer. He's going to get that team going, but just not this week because they got to play the Houston Texans. Joe Mixon comes over from the Bengals, guys. Stephon Diggs comes over from Buffalo. Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Dalton Schultz. Yo, CJ Stroud is one of my favorite young players. He's incredible. They get the win. The next game I want to talk about, Chargers at home versus the Raiders. The Raiders, they're going to get the win, guys. Christian Wilkins and Max Crosby are going to wreak havoc. Yo, Gardner Minshew was a Pro Bowler last year, guys. Devontae Adams, Brock Bowers. Where do you see him yakking it up? Yak, yak, yakety, yak. Brock Bowers is the man, dude. He's going to be a potential offensive rookie of the year. Mark my words. I'm going with the Raiders to get the upset. They're getting 3 points. I love the spread bet, and I think they win this game outright. I absolutely love this game for the Raiders and Raiders Nation. Up next is a game I've been going back and forth on for weeks. I originally thought Carolina had a chance to win this game, but I just don't think they're there yet. New Orleans is at home in this game. I think Derek Carr and a very good defense do just enough to beat Bryce Young. They brought in a lot of young players. They brought in Hunt from the Dolphins to help protect Bryce Young, but it's going to take some time in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of Chuba Hubbard. Miles Sanders really regressed last year, but I do love Xavier Legette. He's got that big body like DK Metcalf. He's going to be a beast, but it's going to take some time. I'm going with New Orleans to win this game. Now we have the Denver Broncos traveling to Seattle. We all know Seattle is one of the hardest places to play in the entire NFL, especially for a rookie. I do like Bo Nix. I think he's going to be just fine at the NFL level. He's got Cortland Sutton to throw the ball to. That defense is just okay, but I just think playing in Seattle, even though their offensive line is absolute cheeks, hey Seattle, get some guys who can block because you got DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, who's going to have a huge game. because Pat Surtain's going to D up Metcalf. Lockett, monster game for Lockett. I like Kenneth Walker III, the running back there too. The defense with McDonald, the new head coach coming over from the Ravens, is going to swarm the Broncos. I think this game will be a little bit closer than the 6 points, maybe like a 3-point game, like a 23, 20, 24, 21 type of game, but I'm going to go with the home team and Seattle to get the W. All right, next up, the Cowboys. Boo! Boo! Yo, listen, they got the CeeDee Lamb deal done, much to my chagrin, but they're still a really good team. They got a great defense. Their offense is cheeks. Terrible running backs. Behind CeeDee Lamb, the wide receiver room is also not very good. A bunch of young players on the offensive line, even though I like the center, Cooper Beebe, I think he's going to be a stud. They addressed the tackle position in the draft as well, but the wide receiver room is thin. That pantry is empty. Running backs is like AARP, like what's Zeke gonna run for 5 yards? Get out of here with that Zeke Elliott garbage. Then they'll bring in Dalvin Cook. I mean, it's like the AARP room over there in Dallas. Jerry Jones, you don't hire your friends, you hire football players that are actually good. I'm going with the Browns to win this game. I like that defense. I think Denzel Ward is going to slow up CeeDee Lamb. Not a lot, but enough for Myles Garrett to get after Dak Prescott, wreak havoc. I'm going with the Browns to win this game. Now let's talk about the Sunday night prime time game, guys. We got the LA Rams versus the Detroit Lions. This game is going to be great. The line's up to +3.5 for the Rams. I think some of those injuries are concerning some bettors. We'll have to see Matt Stafford, how that hamstring is doing before the game. But Matt Stafford's one of the toughest sons of bitches in the NFL. He's going to be just fine. Puka Nacua is also dealing with some injuries as well. But I think they're going to miss Aaron Donald a lot, man. He was getting doubled and triple teamed on almost every single play. That really freed up things for guys like Kobe Turner. Now he's going to get doubled, maybe triple teamed. So we'll have to see how that defensive line performs in week 1 versus a very good offensive line. I'm going with the Lions to win this game. Finally, we end week 1 on Monday night. We got the New York Jets traveling to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. Can Aaron Rodgers get some redemption from last year after only making it through 4 plays? The defense is really good in New York, but can Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson take that offense to the next level, right? I like Olufashinu, the tackle they drafted early on. We'll have to see how that kind of plays out with the Jets offense. Aaron Rodgers' teams kind of start slow a little bit. That's why I'm taking the 49ers. Ricky Pearsall, man, I was so sorry to hear that news about him getting shot, which is absolutely insane. But he was able to shoot the guy back, which was even more crazy. But he was one of my favorite players in the draft. The dude's got great hands. He'll be back in 6 to 8 weeks probably. The injuries are not life-threatening, but they signed Brandon Ayuk to a long-term deal. Trent Williams is still holding out, so we've got to keep an eye on that as the game gets closer and closer. If he does not play, I'm taking the Jets. But he's probably going to play, so I'm going with the 49ers and Debo. Christian McCaffrey's been dealing with some injuries too, but I think he'll be just fine. I'm going with the 49ers, guys. If you like these kind of outdoor live videos, make sure you let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much. We're almost at 8,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys. Go Birds!